Hello everyone, this is Kathleen, and I'm here with this whole pile of junky elements for the journal that I'm working on right now, and I wanted to show you how they turned out. About 10 days ago, I filmed the video called Processing My Weekly Junk Mail, and so I showed you some of the things that I do with, just the trashy stuff that we all get in the mail. And things like flyers and envelopes and yeah. So, I mean, even just funny little things like this. So I will link that video to this one so that if you missed that, you can go back and see what these things look like originally, and what I did to prepare them. But Alice said, why don't you do a part two so that we can see how it turned out? That was a good suggestion. So here I am, Alice, with how these things turned out and how I'm going to use them in this journal. So here's the whole pile of them, and I'll show you. This is the journal that I'm working in right now. It's kind of an autumn fairy journal. I'll show you the first picture. Isn't she beautiful? Yeah, I love this, and it's turning out really well. I have the first signature is completed, and I won't show you this now. I'll save that for the flip through, but yeah, but I've got these kind of clipped down so they will stay out of the way. But let me move this one. Okay, so I have, let's just kind of put this aside for now while I'll show you the first one that I did was this pretty junk mail envelope. And I'll tell you what happened. I did a video showing how I finished them off, but it was over an hour. I was working so hard and chatting with you and, trying to go fast and telling you to speed me up because I knew it was going long. And holy cow, I got finished and turned it off, and it was like 62 minutes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that will take me 3 days to upload. So I'm sorry, but you don't get that. So what you get is just an explanation of what I did. And one of these days I will do another video about how I measure and cut down these envelopes. But I think one of the most important tools, other than sandpaper, for altering junk mail is just napkin decoupage. And that's what I've done on this envelope. I just used some pieces of tissue. I did a little stamping, some distressing with the inks, and then just put this pretty little flower right there over this was the Department of Health envelope. Yeah, so that's how that one turned out, and it's just right here in the middle. But let's go back to the beginning, and I'll show you what else I've got. So you remember that flyer from my congressman, my representative in Congress, and this is how that turned out. Look at all this journaling space. I'm pretty thrilled with this. And if you want to know how I did this, just check out that other video, because I demonstrated how I used the sandpaper to remove the ink. Because remember, the acetone would not touch the ink on this. It was just very sturdy ink, and so I couldn't remove it with acetone, but I was able to sand it. And so I used a stencil under there and sanded that down, and it's turned out really very nice. This was sanded over the texture plate, and so that's why there's holes in it, and I like the way that looks. So thanks very much to my congressman for that lovely piece of paper. And I am going to, I think that I will just put that right here, because there is some blue in this pretty digital. And so I'm just going to put this over the page like that and put a little clip to hold it. And I also have used on this some of these, sometimes you get things when you donate money, you get things in the mail. These are just some of those seals, envelope seals, stamps that come, and they're very bright. And so I just use the sandpaper and take that brightness down just a little bit. Have to be careful, but yeah, that's what that is. And I've used these 2 or 3 times in this book, because you know, when you repeat an element like that several times through the book, then that helps to bring harmony to the journal. We've talked about that before too. Okay, and so then we've got this little page. I will put some fiber through there, but I've got several choices here of what to put in there, and I think we'll just go with this. So this was the textured envelope. I've used that in several ways, actually. I did do some embossing, and I don't know, I don't have the other parts of the envelope. Yes, I do. Okay, there were 3 parts of this envelope. This was part, so this was the bottom, and then this was the flap, this part. And so I ripped that off and embossed that, and have used that as embossed paper on the top of this tag. And this I am making a tuck spot a little later in the book. And then again, I used some stamping and napkin decoupage to cover the name that was on there. And so that just makes a really nice journal paper. And I think we'll just put that in here. Okay, and then this is a pocket that I did the same technique, just with an image. I embossed it and sanded it, and it had the pretty fall colors, and then I just made this patch pocket, and then this card is going to go in there. And if you remember, this came off the end of the, I don't remember which end it was on, but this was another junk mail card, and yeah, it was like this. So if you remember, I used that little tool and did, here it is, I did some swirling with the acrylic paint glaze, and then I just cut one end of it off, and I used the Tim Holtz embossing folder, the swirls, and embossed the top of it. Used a little distress ink that matched kind of the paint, and made that journal card. So you can still slightly see the old writing, but it's perfect, I think. So that's just going to slide right down in there. And okay, then the next space we have is here, and I think that, let's see, I think the next paper that we'll use, I think I want to put this on this music page. So this was the letter that came in the envelope, the insurance envelope, right? So this is now cut down. You can see that I cut the envelope in half and have made 2 other little smaller envelopes. And this was the letter inside, but remember, it only just had this top part that had typing on it. And so I've just used some dictionary strips and some washi strips and a little bit of frottage. I used some chalk, oh, what are they called? The little pastels, chalk pastels, and I did some rubbing on here. That's called frottage, and to kind of just give it a background, and then I covered up that writing with the strips. Put a couple down here, and so that just makes this really nice big journal paper. And I'm just going to slip that over there. And I need another little clip, it looks like. So I will grab one of these and put a clip on there to hold that. All right, so I know I want on the back page, I want to use the top, the back of that envelope. So this is the way it was. And I've just done some little mixed media things. I put this little cluster on it, and I'm just going to glue that down here on two sides. And this would also just make a nice journaling paper. You know, if I had more pockets, you know, it could just slide in here, and that would be nice. But I think I like making pockets, plenty of pockets, because when I journal, I kind of like journaling on separate papers and then putting them in pockets. So, because I sometimes don't want to fill up a whole page, you know, when I'm writing. I just want to do a little bit of writing, maybe on a card or something, and then just save it in the pocket. So that goes there, and then that kind of overlaps. And I love layers like that. All right. So then let's, oh, I do remember there is a page back here. Oh no, that is the page. Okay. Where is it? Yes. I was going to put this here, or maybe this one. I think maybe this one. I'm going to glue it on two sides and make it a tuck and a pocket, so it's a double kind of thing. So it has there's room in the pocket for, where's the little card? Oh, there it is. So there's room here for a pocket, and then there's also room behind for a larger piece of paper, folded paper, or something like that you might want to send. Okay, so that's a nice element. And let's see what else. So I told you about this one. This is this was the other side of this piece of junk mail. This card, you know, that's the way it was in the beginning, and then I just did the acrylic glaze and then kind of sanded that down, because I like those sanding marks, the striations like that. I think it's cool. And so I sanded that a little more and put the embossed paper, and then this little charm. So that's going to go there. And let's see what else I've got. This page, I really like doing this kind of thing. And so I'm just going to put this other little envelope. It's just going to be a floating envelope. So again, you know, there's room here for something inside the envelope, and then you can also use this tuck behind. And let's see, we're gonna make, this is the Medcare tag. I had cut it off. It was a card that came in the mail from insurance people, and but it's a nice heavy card, and so I cut the front off, and it had this square on it, and so I've used the paper from, you remember when I made this page, I sanded that against that texture block, and this is the way it has turned out. And so I used the other side, the colors, and just in this collage. Then I've used another one of those little seals here on the collage. And let's see if there's a pocket for this or if I need to. I don't know, we might need to make another pocket, but I won't do it today. Anyway, so that's just a nice a journal card that can go into a pocket. We can pretend, this is not big enough for this, but we can pretend that it can go in there. And is that it? That's it. So there's my whole signature. Nearly. I mean, there may be a couple of other things. I will certainly put some fibers and maybe a couple of ruffles. See, I've done that in the first signature. So I will put some lace edges, maybe some other things, but now that signature is pretty much decorated. Thanks so much for being with me. I hope that was helpful. Thanks for the suggestion, Alice, and we'll do this again sometime. I'll see you.